We are your home theater and AV questions answered. This is AVRant. Want your home theater or AV question answered by Tom and Rob? Send it to question@avrant.com.
So, Luke, and I think we've got a good pace, don't you think? I think so.
I hope so. We're trying.
We're trying. Luke believes he heard us say that the cabinet of the RBH R5BI bookshelf speakers are made of relatively inexpensive materials, and yet the beautiful exterior finish creates an outward appearance one might not normally get at that price point. That additional beautification must cost more money, right? If that's the case, is RBH sacrificing profit or performance for a superior finish? Do similarly priced products like the AVRant Intimus 4B offer better performance for a similar price by not having the expensive looking finish? The answer is maybe. It depends on what they're doing. Is it a thin veneer that they're staining?
So the RBH, it is just a veneer finish.
Yeah.
You know, the cabinets inside are still MDF. They just put a veneer finish on the outside of it. And they started that separate EMP Tech company, which they've now basically closed down and folded just back into the RBH brand. Mm-hmm. But they started that EMP Tech company as an internet direct, low profit, high sales volume initiative. So they did take a hit on the profit, actually big time, especially when they first introduced the speakers. They might have even been a loss leader at that point. You know, Tom has said before, he said, you need to charge more for these speakers. But they wanted to get attention. They wanted to be like, hey, here we are. And it worked. It got attention. He's saying, what are they sacrificing, profit or performance? Well, obviously, they can't use the level of quality of parts of stuff that costs multi-thousands of dollars. So there is some, parity there between other things that cost similar just in terms of parts. But they took a big hit on their profit margin to put out those EMP Tech speakers. So that was just part of it.
Hey, they do look very, very pretty. Yeah. And let's see, I have lost my place and I have found my place. And in general... Since RBH can make great-looking speakers at a low price, why don't other speakers at similar, even higher price points look more appealing instead of being yet another black box? I guess because they're even cheaper. Or that's just, not enough people demand, I think, is just really what it comes down to. Not enough people demand and can, I would have trouble even finding, I live in a smaller town, I'd have trouble even finding these good-looking speakers. And so if I go to Best Buy, literally there's nothing available but black speakers, and so most people only ever experience black speakers, and only until you go to a nice place in a bigger
interesting
city.
Because companies that have come out and offered many finish options when they first come out, if you watch them over the span of 2 or 3 years, eventually they're down to 2, maybe 1 finish option, and certainly one of them will be black, because every speaker manufacturer, anytime I've gone to any forum or anything like that, they've always said black speakers outsell all the other finishes like 100 to 1, or if not more. It's just overwhelmingly people just tend to choose black speakers.
So there you go.
If you're a speaker company, you're a small startup, and you want to put out a speaker, you're going to put out a black box. Like that's what you're going to do. Yeah. So RBH is a large company for as far as speaker companies go. They do a ton of OEM work as well that isn't sold under their RBH brand. They're a big enough company that they were able to start this separate little sub brand of EMP Tech, and for them it was a priority. They said, not only are we going to put out a good sounding speaker at a low price, we're going to try and make it better looking than everyone else that's out there. We're going to take a big hit on our profit margins to do it, but that's what we're going to do. So why don't others do it? Because you have to take a big hit on your profit margins.
Yeah, you do. And if you're a
startup, you can't afford to do that, right?
You can't rely on people to have good taste.
Yeah, I mean, EMP Tech could have been a failure. That was a possibility. And if it was, RBH would have said, all right, we tried that. It didn't work. We're folding it down, and we're not going to continue on doing that. They were a big enough company that they could absorb a potential failure like that. Not everybody can. So that's kind of
so, show love to these companies that are making pretty speakers. I mean, if you can make it sound good and make it pretty at the same time, show them some love and shop with them.
Want your question answered? Send it to question@avrant.com. This is AVRant.
Now go out and listen to something.